All right, final day in this health insurance mini-series. What is the fifth and final option I'll give you for poker player health insurance, any self-employed health insurance? Don't have it. Now, I understand a lot of people just collapsed on the floor. A lot of people who don't have health insurance are either very stupid, lazy, cheap, or a combination of that. To do it for those reasons is foolish. To do it for the correct reasons, I have no problem with. Imagine the scenario. You're someone, you have a very clean family history. It's not like everyone in your family has diabetes or something like that. You also, let's say you're 25, you're about to turn 26 in a year, you're gonna be off your parents' plan, you're thinking what your options are for health insurance. And you, in your life so far, haven't had any large medical problems, okay? Browse the private marketplace plans, think about the other options I've given, and also consider not having it. What's the benefit of not having it? Of course, you save a ton of money. So one of the plans in 2020, when I was browsing the private marketplace, a lot of people don't know what their health insurance covers and all the math that goes into the prices. So one of the plans, when I was browsing, had a premium of about $450 a month. It had a deductible of $5,000. So the premium you're paying just to have it, that never goes towards medical care. No matter what, you use medical care or you don't, you're paying $450 a month. The deductible, second thing, of $5,000, if you ever have medical care, you're paying the first $5,000. The insurance company is not. Then beyond that, between $5,000 and $15,000 of care, there's a coinsurance. It was 50%. That means, say something costs $15,000. I'm paying the first $5,000. That's the deductible, and the other $10,000, I'm paying half, and the insurance company is paying half. It's a 50% coinsurance. Beyond $15,000, the insurance company would handle everything. If it was something very severe, the insurance company would handle everything. Now, here's the thing. The reason for having health insurance, to me, is actually a pretty small window. If you're never gonna have a problem, if you're never gonna need medical care, it's a waste to have it. If you're gonna have a cold every once in a while, also a waste to have it. Just stay at home for a day, take Tylenol, that's fine. If it's something incredibly severe, if you're in a 20-car pileup and something catches on fire, you're not making it. Having health insurance isn't gonna help you. So it's really these middling types of medical care situations. It's really not even broken bones. Let me give you this example. It's real tough to find out what procedures actually cost. I remember once years ago looking up what an appendectomy cost, and I saw numbers between $2,000 and $180,000. It's insane. A broken bone, I think, might cost somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000. Let's say it costs $13,000, okay? Because I hear a lot of people say, oh, you don't have health insurance? Well, that's stupid. What if you get into a car accident? What if you break your arm? Okay, let's do the math behind someone in that situation breaking his or her arm. If you don't have health insurance, the year goes by, you break your arm, it costs $13,000. What do you pay? You pay cash out of pocket, it's $13,000. That's the end of it. What if you had this health insurance plan I was telling you about, one of the ones I noticed when I was browsing the private marketplace in 2020? If you needed care for $13,000, what would that cost? Okay, $450 in a monthly premium multiplied by 12 is $5,400. So you're paying $5,400 in premiums. That doesn't go towards the care. You're just paying that to have the policy. Then we get into the actual $13,000. It's a $5,000 deductible. So you're paying the first $5,000, all of it. Now there's $8,000 left over, and it's a 50% coinsurance. The policyholder pays half, and the insurance company pays half. So of that remaining $8,000, you're paying $4,000 anyway. So you're paying $5,400 in premiums, you're paying $5,000 in the deductible, and you're paying $4,000 in the coinsurance. That's $14,400. You're actually paying more money by having the policy than if you just didn't have the policy and just paid out of pocket the $13,000. Also, broken bones, I don't know anyone who breaks his or her arm every single year. I think if you ever break your arm, if you ever break a bone, maybe you'll break 2 in a lifetime. So think of a 10-year period where the only problem you have medically is you break your arm and you need to pay $13,000 to get it fixed. Okay, well, not only do you save this $1,400 the year it actually happens, the next 9 years, you save $5,400 per year in premiums that you're not paying by not having a policy. So if you don't have a very poor family history, if you haven't had a lot of medical problems yourself, if there's no reason to think you'll have something like major or chronic happening to you, and you actually thought this through and did the math and did all the calculations, I do not think it's foolish at all to forego health insurance. For a number of years, I wouldn't forego it forever, but say you're this 25-year-old person, in a year you're going to be off your parents' plan, and you need to think, what am I going to do when I'm 26? To think about like everything I just said and decide, okay, for the next 10 years, I'm not going to have health insurance. I'll get it when I'm 36, but for these next 10 years, from age 26 to age 36, I'm going to go without it. If I break a bone, okay, I'll pay. I'll still save a ton of money over the 10 years, and the most likely outcome is I save like $50,000, $60,000 or $60,000 in premiums. I think that's a fine plan. In addition to just thinking about what you don't pay now, saving $5,000 in premiums when you're 26 years old is like much better than saving $5,000 when you're like 45 years old. Say you're looking to retire when you're like 50. $5,000 saved when you're 26 by not having health insurance and not paying for premiums. I mean, you're giving that $5,000 24 years to grow, to become a much bigger number for your retirement. When you're 27, the $5,000 you don't spend in premiums, you're giving that money 23 years to grow for your retirement at target age 50. So not only are you probably at your healthiest when you're younger, but the money you save when you're younger does way more for you down the line when you're looking to retire. So this is the fifth option. Don't have it. And again, to just be lazy, to not look these things up and do the calculations is foolish. To be cheap, oh, I just don't want to pay, that's the end of your thought. That's stupid. And to just not really understand anything about health insurance, or to do this, not pay the health insurance premiums and just waste the money you're saving, not put it towards your future. I think that's foolish also. I also think it would be foolish to say I'm going to go my entire life without having health insurance. So if you think about it for the right reasons and actually have some cogent thoughts and do some calculations and think about all 5 of these plans, and you come to the result that for a time, not forever, I'm going to go without it, I think that's perfectly reasonable. And these were the 5 options for not just poker players, but all self-employed people, if you don't have health insurance through a full-time job.
Yeah, I got it at the stadium.